Cockroach. It is the insect most commonly associated with nuclear survival, and the reputation is at least partly earned. Cockroaches can withstand radiation dose far beyond what would kill a human being. A human exposed to around 10 grays of radiation will almost certainly die, while a cockroach survive exposure of up to 1,000 grays. The reason lies in how their cells divide. Cockroaches only undergo cell division during the molt phase, meaning their cells are not actively replicating most of their lives, and radiation causes the most damage precisely during cell division. Their simple, robust body plan has remained largely unchanged for over 300 million years, which speaks to just how well designed survival it truly is. They can also go weeks without food, water, and or even their head before eventually dying of thirst. Scorpion. It has been on this planet for approximately 430 million years, surviving every mass extinction the Earth thrown at it, and radiation is unlike change that record. Scorpions have an extraordinarily efficient metabolism and can slow their biological processes to near standstill during periods of environmental stress. Their exoskeleton contains compounds fluoresce ultraviolet light, and some research believe these same compounds may offer a degree of protection against certain type of radiation. Scorpions survive without food for up to a year by reducing their metabolic rate so drastically they require almost no energy to remain alive. They have been found thriving in desert, rainforest, high altitude mountains, demonstrating an adaptability that few creatures on Earth can match. Mealworm beetle, the adult form of this insect, is ordinary looking enough to be easily overlooked, but its capacity for survival under extreme conditions is anything but ordinary. The mealworm beetle and its larval stage have both demonstrated remarkable resistance to ionizing radiation in laboratory studies. Their thick, layered exoskeleton provides a degree of physical shielding, and their relatively simple cellular repair mechanisms appear to handle radiation-induced DNA damage with surprise efficiency. Mealworm beetles are also capable of surviving on almost nothing, consuming decaying organic material that most other insects would not touch. Their ability to persist in low resource due to high-stress environment is a direct reason why they would likely continue to function in the aftermath of a nuclear event. Fruit fly. It may seem like an unlikely candidate for nuclear survival, but the fruit fly has been one of the most studied insects in the world of radiation science, largely because of what it reveals about genetics. Fruit flies reproduce so rapidly that research can observe radiation-induced genetic mutation across many generations in a short period of time. What those studies have shown is that fruit flies can tolerate radiation doses that would be lethal to far larger, seemingly more robust animals. Their small body size means less overall tissue exposed relative to the end involved, and their cells appear capable of initiating DNA repair mechanisms relatively quickly. Also, they were among the first living organisms sent to space to study the effects of cosmic radiation, and many survived. Braconid wasp. This small parasitic wasp is not a creature most people think about, but it has demonstrated one of the most striking radiation tolerances ever recorded in an insect. The braconid wasp can survive radiation doses of up to 180,000 rem, a figure so extreme it is difficult to fully comprehend, given that a dose of around 500 rem is lethal to humans. Scientists believe this remarkable tolerance linked to the wasp's unique DNA repair capability and the way its genome is structured. Braconid wasps lay their eggs inside other insects, essentially using living host incubators. And this reproductive strategy means they do not need favorable environmental conditions on the outside to continue their life cycle during periods of extreme stress. Flower beetle. This small reddish-brown beetle is a common pest, stored grain, and dry food, and it has been the subject of considerable scientific attention when it comes to radiation resistance. Flower beetles have been exposed to high levels of gamma radiation in laboratory settings and have consistently survived doses that would be fatal to most other forms of life. Part of their resilience comes from a relatively efficient cellular damage response. Their body's ability to limit spread of oxidative damage caused by radiation is more capable than that of many other species. They are also parthenogenetic under certain conditions, meaning females can reproduce without males, which gives any surviving population fast path to recovery after a catastrophic event. Silverfish, one of the oldest insect lineages still alive today, the silverfish existed in essentially the same form for over 400 million years. It is a primitive wingless insect, thrives in humid, dark environment, feeds starch material, including paper, bookbinding, and wallpaper paste. Silverfish found to tolerate radiation at levels significantly above what most insects handle. Their extremely slow metabolism and low rate of cellular activity mean there is simply less biology exposed to radiation damage at any given moment. They can survive for months without food and are remarkably resistant to dehydration. And their persistence through geological time suggests a body plan and biological system so fundamentally stable that even dramatic environmental shifts do little to disrupt their function. Domestic beetle. Known commonly as the hide beetle or carpet, this insect feeds on dried organic material, including skin, hair, feathers, keratin in all its form, plays an important natural role in the decomp carcass in the wild. Forensic scientists use it to help determine time of death. Certain investigations. Domestic beetles demonstrated notable resistance to radiation, likely connected to their biological role, process dead decaying matter, an environment that exposes them to various forms of chemical and biological stress. Their thick, hardened exoskeleton provides physical shielding, and their relatively slow cellular turnover reduces their vulnerability to radiation-induced replication errors. In a post-nuclear environment filled with decaying organic material, they would have no shortage of food or slow their activity. Ant. Across the more than 20,000 known species of ant, radiation tolerance varies. Certain species demonstrated survival under high radiation conditions that sets them apart from most other social insects. Fire ants in particular Canada have shown measurable resistance to gamma radiation studies, and their colonial structure means that even if a significant portion of the population is killed, the surviving queen and workers can rapidly rebuild the colony. Ants have highly coordinated damage control behavior at the colony level, which isolating dead or sick individuals to prevent the spread of harm to healthy members. Their ability to function in heavily contaminated soil environment, combined with the sheer diversity of ant species distributed across almost every habitat on Earth, means that some form of ant life would almost certainly persist following a nuclear event. Like ant, termites operate superorganisms where the survival of the colony matters more than any individual. Termites have been found in environments with elevated background radiation and have continued to reproduce and build their complex tunnel system without obvious disruption. Their underground lifestyle offers natural shielding as soil absorbs a significant portion of radiation, and termites rarely need to surf at all. So they feed on cellulose, wood, and plant material, resources that would remain abundantly available in a post-nuclear landscape. Their gut microbiome, which helps break down cellulose, complex, highly specialized. And some of those microbial partners also appear to have radiation-tolerant properties. A nuclear event would do little to interrupt termites' fundamental way of life.